board.
Okay.
So tell us about the booths at Coconut Grove.
Every single booth was looking really good, no matter what, and it was like the only thing that you was paying attention was to the artwork, and it was more like do you like the artwork or not, and it doesn't make a big difference. Everything, even though the most complex booth, it was like it looks like somebody throw a spaghetti in the wall, but it still looks like organized,
Like an
Makes
art gallery.
Yeah.
See, what you see at a show like Coconut Grove is artists at the top of their game.
Hmm.
Right, Bonnie?
You bet. Oscar,
I
I so appreciated that post that you made with the booth shots.
Mhm.
It just, people need to see that. And they need to see it not as booth images, but at a real show.
Yeah, and I did a portrait of them, but I wanted to show their work at the same time, how they look, and it's it's pleasant to be around somebody that looks good and makes you, because then become the distraction. We have other problems at the show, but it was nothing to do with the art in general. It was like the food was blowing into the tents, and it was loud, but they fixed but they cannot do anything about the food. But the quality of the work in there was amazing, you know. Um, and and Camille did a really, really good job. That's my opinion, you know. And everybody that was in there deserved to be there. If somebody got rejected, um, who knows why? You know, I'm just blessed that I wasn't there.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
that's the type of jury you'd like to sit in the back of the room and see the images projected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Because,
Oscar, your
yeah.
booth is really nice.
Thank you. I
So,
mean, I try to keep it walkable, and because I use two entrances, one in the side and one in the front, I try to make it as nice as I can
well,
to
it
make it.
looked good.
Yeah.
I was very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we taught him all he knows.
Now, how was the show for you?
It was a solid, good show, but I was hoping for a little bit more because I wanted to cancel the last show, the backup branch, but
Yeah.
it didn't. So I need to roll the dice with that show and see what happened. Hopefully, Sharon did a good job.
Sharon.
For Meyer. Yeah.
Oh.
We will see. And she only do the promotion, so we see what happened. So that's my last show in Florida, and then I drive home be there for a week to take care of some things, and then I go to Houston.
Excellent. Bayou City?
Yep.
Yeah.
Memorial Park. So I'm looking forward to all that. And today I paid Old Town Art Fair. So
Unbelievable. That's going to be a great one.
yeah. The funny thing is, like, people ask me about that show, and then I tell them it's just a good show. It's one of the better shows to do, but it could be, for me, it's just a normal good show, and I don't expect too much out of it.
Well,
But
except that you have a new look this year.
yeah.
So things could be very different.
I hope so. Don't get me wrong. Last time I did, I still did as good as Coconut Grove. I just want to do
More.
better. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Then I, yeah, and by then I'm gonna have 2 more new images in the wall because I'm cleaning out the some of the things out that doesn't sell that often. So, and I want people to see something different anyhow, not the same stuff over and over and over. So
That's good. Give them something new to look forward to.
yeah. So, oh, the best thing that happened this weekend,
But
I stepped over uh a fire ant's nest.
and not in it.
And it was painful. uh
Oh, you
I,
you got stung.
yeah, big time. Even yesterday, I still was having the pus coming out of the.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
I don't know. That's one of the things that I wish. I know that she doesn't have to do anything with that, but it would be nice if they go through the where we're supposed to park and make sure that you don't have nothing like that in the parking
Yeah.
area. Because you don't know until you step on it, and I'm not going to be looking at 6 o'clock. It's dark at night. I'm not going to be looking down to the ground.
It's too late once you've stepped.
Yeah. So I they should really do something like that. Steve at work, I was telling me that last time he did the show, he also had the same problem and he didn't realize it until it was too late. And luckily, one of kid's wife have Benadryl spray, so that helped me with the itching. But she was like, "What's going on?" I told her that I got bitten by the ants, and she told me, "Here, use this because it's itching you like crazy." Like, yep, and I don't make it any better.
Jeez. Is it
But
nice having Steve back down there?
what?
Is it nice having Steve back down there?
Yeah, he's really excited. I'm going to help him this weekend to do Naples. So we're going to go over the display tomorrow because he does it different than me, and it's a different tent. So I need to know the details of how he does it. And
Yeah.
we there. But everybody's happy to see him down here. Everybody did a little party for him, and last Wednesday, and then seems to be happy. He started printing today. I got it to the trailer, and I'm going like did you finish everything? Almost. I just need to print, and I go like, how hard is to press the button?
He is an
I gave him the finger.
story. The
Yeah.
fact that his recovery just believable. The fact that they didn't have to
Yeah.
drill a hole in his head to me is especially amazing because they had to drill a hole in mine.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, he got really lucky.
I laid on my head funny, or my hair funny last night, and I haven't washed my hair, so that's why I'm looking especially lovely.
You cut it too, didn't you?
Yeah, I chopped it all off. I'll let it grow again at some point.
So
But
how are you ready for this?
Sorry, am I ready
Are
for
you
the
ready
garage?
for this?
For the weekend, I think he said.
I am. I am so darned excited. I cannot believe it. I am totally geeked. We
That's
have this
awesome.
big winter storm warning that starts today, but instead of lasting, it's going to end at like 4 a.m. on Thursday. And the weekend weather's looking great.
Mm-hmm.
Our ads are running everywhere we could possibly want them to. Our billboards are showing up everywhere. And I am just totally excited.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I hope it does really well. It will be good to go out in the big bang money.
Yes. And that's exactly what I want to do. I'm spending every penny. I can't refund. We always refund. If you have to cancel, we always refund the booth fee. And I can't yet because I've spent every last penny. So I have to wait until after the show. And if nobody comes, then it's coming out of my savings account. So we're hoping that we will have a lot of people so that I don't have. So I think we will. So I'm ready. I'm ready to shop. Oh, Dick's in the background saying, no, 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 no.
Well, what's the fun of going to a fair if you aren't going to buy anything?
Well, yeah. And I'm actually having a booth. I'm doing something that's not normal for the show, but I'm having a booth and I'm selling off a whole bunch of my art.
Oh.
Because a lot of it I can't see anymore. And I just have way too much. 43 years of doing art fairs, I have quite a collection. So I'm really excited. I have a friend coming to run a booth for me, and I'm going to make all kinds of great deals. You want it, make me an offer, it's yours.
That's interesting.
So I'm only taking cash. Yeah, should be fun. We'll see. So what's everybody else doing?
Does that only include things like Venmo?
No.
Okay.
Because number one, I will not be in the booth.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want it to, it's a garage sale for me. I don't want it to look like it's for a business, because it's not. It's my personal property. Just like if I was selling my Tupperware collection.
Okay.
But
You mean all those mismatched lids?
There you go. So I want to keep it really simple for my friend that's in the booth, because she is getting, a little nervous about it.
Well, here, even people just doing, a regular garage sale are taking Venmo. But I guess it's a personal account, not a business account.
I don't know if mine's personal or business. I should probably check just in case I need to use it. But I don't want to have to fool around with it at the show. And I do try to advertise the show as bring your cash.
Cash and carry.
Yeah. Just because I'd just assume that my artists get cash and not have to worry about paying the fees.
Yeah.
They're doing this one for the money. Plus, we haven't had it since 2020. And so hearing how much work they all have stuck away, and they're really emptying their closets and storage areas, and that's always fun.
Hey, Julie, did you see the pictures I sent you?
I only got to glance at them for a second because I'm in between meeting and a class.
How did they look?
But my first impression was, wow, they were looking very bright.
But are they looking the way they're supposed to look?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I didn't get to do a full study. I won't get to actually really look at what you sent till probably about the next, probably I have about 2 or 3 hours before I'm going to get to actually pay attention to what you sent.
Okay.
So anyway, at least first glance, I'm like going, yes, this looks good. So all good. So
Well,
hello,
you can
everybody. I'm Julie. I'm from Texas.
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
Hello.
Well, you can always put them up here and we'll give you our opinion. For better
Yeah,
or for worse.
I'm not ready.
She sent me images a photographer took about 4 or 5 years ago. And he gave them to her in the wrong color space and they looked terrible.
Ugh.
Well, in my beginning years, I would have melted down and cried, but now I realize you're just talking about the photography, not necessarily my paintings.
Right.
Right.
Okay, there you go. Yes, I've had a struggle with the fact that I would prefer to just paint. This whole technology of dealing with digital painting, pictures of my paintings is like a whole nother component. And I don't really like giving it my full attention, but I have to if I want to get in the shows. And so I kind of have to. But luckily, a really good friend recommended Larry. So now I actually get to see you, Larry. There you go. See, this is cool.
Here we are.
Here we are. So,
Excellent.
do y'all have a topic today? I know I got in late and I have to leave in like a half an hour, but are y'all talking about anything in particular today?
Well, we started talking about how good the booths looked at Coconut Grove.
Oh, okay.
But that's because that's one of those shows where everybody's at the top of their game.
Yeah, that's where I want to get. I'm working on that. I'm going to get there eventually. I'm not at the top of my game yet because all my digital pictures are in terrible shape. So,
Well, if you want top of your game and you're in Texas, go for Fort Worth.
Right.
that's what I've been hearing. You know, I just got to do the waterway this past April, and I
Yeah.
thought that was like I just was like dreaming to be in that show. But now I'm hearing about this Fort Worth. So anyway, I guess things just come to you at the times you need them. So
Well, if you liked Woodlands,
yes.
Fort Worth will blow your socks off.
Okay, I can't wait. I guess with Larry's help, I'm going to have much better pictures. And so you never know. It might just work out.
Well, you should do his mock jury the next time he does one.
Okay.
Because you'll get good, solid advice on putting together a good selection of images, a good booth image, a good package to apply with.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what I'm
talking
hoping
about
for.
our mock jury.
To what now? It's-
Our. Bonnie's part of it too.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. That's
okay.
if he asks. That's if he asks me again. But if he doesn't,
Well,
still, I still
Sharon-
recommend.
I don't know if Sharon will come back because of Barry.
Oh, never mind.
Didn't pay.
So yeah, I'll be asking you again, Bonnie.
Thanks, Larry.
I
I
love
really-
all-
But it's also a really good service. Seeing what people have done. Well, Annette, she is the poster child for how she has changed things up
Okay.
from before the,
When she
Mock
first
jury.
started.
oh
Right.
my
Well,
goodness.
I don't know. Who knows? I may become the new poster child. I just don't know yet. So,
Well, we always need new poster children.
well, all I know is I'm sure Larry was shocked that I had what I had because that's all I've been working with. And there you go. So
But you got into Woodlands with that? Because that's a hard show to get into.
I know I worked really hard. I had been waitlisted for year after year. They don't have a habit of picking local artists. So
Yeah.
I think that they kind of had, it was a unique combination of circumstances that allowed me to get in last year. But I got waitlisted again this year. So it's you know, it's like, and that's when my friend was like, well, maybe you need to send some of your pictures to Larry. So, you know, I think I'm now on a path of at least figuring out how to get the right presentation of my artwork. So
Good.
you know, I hope so. I mean, I've been working at this for a good while now, and I'd like to get, you know, I'd like to get some exposure at these shows. I mean, I want to be able to do that at least for a good while. I'm not ready to stop doing that, but I want to get in. So, you know,
Well,
gotta be.
it used to be so easy. All
It
you
did.
had to do was make good art.
Yeah, you would think that's kind of what I want to work on, is just doing my art. But this whole other thing is like a whole nother ball game of stuff that, and yes, it appears that my photographer friend that stopped doing the work back in 20, he basically lost his memory. So he no
Oh,
longer can do the work. So, and then with COVID hitting, you know, I just haven't found somebody else to help me do it. So.
well, yeah, it's become, it seems like I spent, you know, so little time actually doing what I loved. I was a jeweler. So little time making the jewelry, the designing and the making. And
Yeah.
I've spent so much time on the business end, the social media, the marketing, the, you know,
Yeah.
applying to shows, the
Yeah.
going to
That
shows.
seems, yeah, that's kind of a component that I have to embrace, whether I like it or not. So
Yep. You have to these days, and it's hard.
it is. I'm not gonna, yeah, it is. But it feels like Larry's gonna take care of a lot of that for me.
Oh, good.
So.
Do a good job for her, Larry.
Yes, I'm counting on it.
He's not
No,
paying any.
He's taking care of his dog.
Yeah. We know where his loyalty lies.
As it should be.
Yeah.
That's family.
So, Annette, did you have a show last weekend? This past?
No, I did not. I have Bonita 3 next. So I did not have one last week. But how did Coconut go? Was it good for everyone? I saw
it
the
was the overall thing was from good to fantastic. That was what, but most people was in the good section than anything else. I think there was still things to work out of the show, but it's nothing to do with the type of work that's getting into the show. Everybody was really good. You know, it's one of the shows that you walk and you go like, wow, wow, and if not, you didn't work because you didn't like the work, but everything in there was really, really good. I got lucky that I was next to Bill Kidd and Tony, the glass blower, and there was Margie was there, and there was a lot of people there. They are really, really good in the show. That that you don't see them doing shitty shows. Basically,
Yeah,
it's kind of good, that group.
we almost
So-
thought about driving over, but I don't know. It would be a long day to drive from there and
Oh,
then drive
it-
back. It's like,
it would be worth it to
Oh,
see
yeah,
the show.
definitely.
well,
But go weekend to Naples, and then to national this week. That would be really good. Most of the people that did Coconut Grove are doing that show, so it might be
Are-
worth for you to take.
are
Or
doing-
they're driving,
Like
or, excuse me, a bunch of them are driving north
Yeah.
to the garage sale art fair. I know 3 of them for certain are headed.
Barry,
and but who is the other one?
I guess that's why Barry's not here.
Barry and Steve Uren with his woodworking, and Robin Kittleson with her
Oh.
glass. And I don't remember if there's anybody else. But I've told them all to drive carefully.
They got plenty of time. They could have left today, and they should be there. Worst case scenario will be Thursday.
Yeah, but
Well-
you have a storm going until Thursday.
Yep,
Ah,
it'll end Thursday at 4 a.m. We're going to have good weather. And there's my buddy. He is the best post sharer around. Hi, Court.
Hello.
You have been a rock star. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's better than writing my own stuff, and it's a lot easier.
Well, we all appreciate it. Makes it fun for me.
Everybody knows when the Moise is giving the notifications.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
When the Moise Stephen King shows giving notification. Did anybody knows?
It's the day after they have their big reveal party.
And when is that?
I have no idea. I didn't apply. Should be able to go online and look.
Oh my goodness, you're going to make me work, Kurt.
Yeah. What was it David said? Read the
Oh.
prospectus.
I don't want to read the perspective. That's too much work.
I'll quick go look.
What, it's better to ask here?
Yeah. It's easier. People get lazy at their old age.
Hey,
You're not old.
I'm officially old and I'm not lazy.
Oh,
I'm a little wackadoodle at the moment, but I will say steroids are my new friend.
So they let you stay on them for another week?
Oh, are you kidding? It looks like I may be on them, like the rest of my life kind of thing.
Oh,
They're the cure-all.
Yes. Well, it turns out that with this new thing I've been diagnosed with, if you don't get oxygen to your brain, or my lungs or anywhere else, that kind of makes you not real smart. I can actually think again.
You mean then you'll have an excuse?
Yes. Well, I had an excuse for all that time before after my head blew. So, yeah.
Hey, Bonnie, you know what else not getting enough oxygen to the brain does?
What?
Makes you dead. Then you're really not smart.
Okay, good point. Well, I lived through that part, but no, they're starting to wean me down. Instead of 6 pills a day, I'm on 5 pills a day. And I said, well, whatever you do, do not wean me down any further until after the show. Just let me keep my drug, and then I'll do whatever you tell me to afterwards.
Hey, Bonnie, are you on Art Girls?
Yes.
Because they were, somebody had said that I fell down and broke my hip.
I said that was not you.
that was Larry.
Was it Larry Sanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that you were fine.
Okay, good.
But
I called Larry Sanders today and left a message asking him how he was.
Well,
I wonder if he'll call me back.
Larry, did you have an operation that we didn't know about?
Well, I had an operation on my ankle the
What?
beginning of
Ankle.
December.
That's not what I was talking about if you're on Art Girls.
Oh, I'm not on Art Girls. I can't.
good point. Hey, Annette and Julie.
Don't
Yes.
say gay.
You should get on Art Girls.
What exactly is that?
It's a Facebook Katie, are you on Art Girls?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's a Facebook group for women artists.
Okay.
It's really good.
It's a private group.
Private group.
Well, they're all
Let me-
private groups.
No,
No,
it's public
these are-
group.
these
Okay,
are
so
really
what
good.
exactly do they talk about? Because I'm not a fan of Facebook. I find it a waste of time.
Well, it is primarily about art related. It is primarily people doing art fairs.
Okay.
I don't know. I find it has been just a huge wealth of information.
And it's just for women.
Yes.
Okay.
I was
Yep.
almost made an honorary member.
Okay, there you go.
Let me
Oops.
tell you. Let me tell you how strong that network is.
Okay.
An artist I had never met, didn't even know existed, had a severe car accident in extreme Southwest. Actually, I think the accident was in Oklahoma. Rolled her car. Somebody, one of the EMTs that picked her up at the accident went back and picked up all her belongings, but she had all her belongings in, it was like a small SUV. I get a message and a phone call from somebody else I've heard the name. They said, well, so-and-so said you were in Kansas, just in Wichita. They flew the artist from Southwest Kansas to Wichita because that's where the nearest biggest hospital was.
Wow.
So through Art Girls, I wound up going out, picking her stuff up, bringing it back to Wichita, going up and meeting her in the hospital a couple of times.
Wow.
And because she had a head injury, she couldn't fly. So her daughter came down, they took the train back, and I wound up taking her stuff to Chicago. And all the connection to me came through Art Girls.
Wow. Well, okay. That's interesting.
It's just, it is, yeah, it's an amazing network of women bringing in the occasional guy for help.
Okay.
But like I
And-
said, I'm impressed with that network and that group of people.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give it some thought.
Okay.
And like
So-
I kind of gave up Facebook about 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, even if you're only on it for that,
Mhm.
and it's a real good place for if you want to find out good hotels to stay at for women traveling by themselves, places to watch out for,
Mhm.
opinions on shows.
Well, I can see how that can be beneficial because I know one time I ended up in Dallas for a show and I had no idea that the hotel that I was at, it just had mega bad vibes and it was in just a really bad part. It just so happened that, you know, I had a friend that lived there that I could say, look, this isn't going to work. Where do I go? And, you know, I was able to reach out to somebody that I knew, but I did experience being in a part of town that was not safe. And I had no idea, but
Right.
I had enough sense to get out of there. So, but the
Good.
sun was going down and I needed to get somewhere else fast. And yes, I've been in that kind of position. So it wasn't very
Well,
comfortable.
You'll
But luckily,
find
yeah.
these women will rally around you.
Well, that's cool to know. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. Well, I'll think about it. Got a lot of new things happening, so I'll have to pace
Good.
myself, I guess.
We had a run of fun at the Holiday Hooker Inn.
Okay.
We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we're staying at a Holiday Inn, and we're in the bar, and guy walks in with a hooker. We don't think anything about it. Thought it was kind of a little unusual. Later that year, about 5 or 6 months later, that's in the spring and the fall. We're staying at, I pull up the Holiday Inn in Memphis that we're staying at.
Yeah.
And there's 3 hookers standing out on the sidewalk in front of the hotel.
Okay.
And I mean, the one in Tulsa was at least classily dressed. This was like, you called up somebody from Central Casting and said, you know, send me a couple of hookers and, you know, in costume. And then I wound up on the elevator with 2 of them.
Wow.
And they
That
got
must
off
have
and
been
went
a hell
down.
of a ride.
They got off, and the floor they got off on, they headed down a hallway, and you could hear the music coming from down the hallway. So I got to drop off for just a couple minutes, folks. I'll be right back. My wife's watching my cooking in the kitchen, and she has a question.
Well, we're in the middle of packing the car for the garage sale. And I kind of forgot that I no longer drive an Odyssey. And I'm now down to an Outback. But I have enough stuff to fill a full-size van. So there's kind of an issue. So I'm going to have to go because Dick is not looking happy.
All right. It was good seeing you, Bonnie.
Good seeing you all. Court, no, he's not there. Well, whoever's on tonight, I'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
Have a great week, everyone.
Same for you.
You too.
Bye.
Yeah, Bonnie's show is in 4 days.
Yeah. That is new.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Larry. Hi, Larry. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Oscar, where are you? It looks really pretty.
And the camping ground that I'm staying, and probably most likely will be the camping ground that I will stay next year in here. So I asked to get a spot for the year round, so I can keep it, the trailer, the camper down here, and be more comfortable. Plus, I close to some friends. They're camping here every year, so it will be nice.
Cool.
The only drawback is that it's the closest town is 17 miles away, but it's a 20 minutes drive. And if you want to see a Home Depot or a movie, you have to drive 38 miles or 40 miles. But you know, if you're in the city, that would be the same amount of time it would take me to go to any of those places. Less distance, but same amount of time. So the only thing that makes you plan more, like you kind of forget anything when you go in and out, because it's a hollow to drive back and forth.
Are you saying you're staying down in the holler?
What?
Down to the holler?
No, I'm in the middle of nowhere, basically. Actually, though, you know, the only reason why this town has a name is because they got a post office. That's the area. A 10 by 10 post office.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
So, but it's quiet and peaceful. There's no reason to be worried about it. The only thing they have to worry about at night is the wild animals. Other than that, you know, it's nice. It's really, really nice. And you cannot beat the price to stay here per month. So you cannot complain about anything, you know. But that's just me.
And you have internet access.
Yeah, I need to get a booster
Mm-hmm.
for when I'm here. But it's that's the only drawback about it. Everything else is pretty good. Uh, oh, another thing. Uh, if you listen to the podcast from the independent artists, it's totally worth listening because most of the people that got interviewed and I met them in Coconut Grove, and it was nice to talk to some of them. Some of them I know personally, so it's not a big deal. But it's good to see some of the stuff people talk and put two and two together. Okay, I sent my application for Madison, Rittenhouse Square Craft, and Utah Art Festival because the Moy doesn't answer March 2. So I'm disappointed on them. Oh, and getting it ready.
Why that they don't tell you till March 2nd?
March 3rd. And the
3rd?
deadline is and the deadline is for Utah is March 2. So I was trying to save myself $40, but I guess not. So
Yeah, the reason it's on the 3rd is because their preview parties, if I remember right, are usually on a Thursday night. They throw a big party and invite all their patrons and release the names of the artists that night. And then they send notices to the artists the next day.
that's awesome.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Barry.
Des Moines?
Oh yeah, that's in a week. Reveal.
Yeah, they do their reveal party.
This is really strange. I'm on my phone.
You're fine.
Are you
You're
driving?
strange without the phone, Barry.
Huh? My computer, my laptop doesn't have any power at the moment. I'm only on for a few minutes because I want to get the Buckies. Anyway, maybe. I'm lamenting the fact that I'm sadly out of Florida now.
Where are you?
Georgia. A rest area, the second rest area in Georgia. Going
75?
north. On 75, yes.
It's going to get colder as you go north, but Thursday it's going to be record high up north.
I know. I want to get to where I'm going on Thursday about noon, and then go to the garage sale on Friday morning.
It's going to be snowing on Wednesday, just to let you know.
Maybe. No, I'm gonna skirt around it. It's intermittent.
Okay. Just be safe. Don't be stupid.
I'm already stupid, but I'll try and be safe.
I'm heading north on Thursday.
Just you two be careful. Don't be like me. You don't need a new band.
Oh yeah. If I need anything, it's a new van.
I'm not taking the van. I'm just taking enough, whatever I can fit in the Subaru.
Oh,
What kind of Subaru?
Outback.
Well, that holds quite a bit.
Yeah. So
We have a Forester and that holds quite a bit too.
if I stripped everything down, I could almost get my whole booth. You know, I carry a lot of extra. I've kind of expanded to fill the space in the van. But I'm almost to the point. I've got to do a little more research. I'm almost to the point where I've got all the stuff to, short of breaking a fitting, I can replace or repair almost any straight pole I've got.
Talking about that, I got to order the two sections of the tent because the poles are bent. And I don't know when it happened, but when I'm raising the tent up, the tent is not stable until I put the stabilizer bars.
Oh
It's
yeah,
never
well,
going to be stable. No
you
tents are
need that
stable.
anyway.
Yeah, no tents are stable till you put the stabilizer bars on them.
No, I understand that part, but I mean, like, you raise it up and the things want to tilt one side completely. It looks like it's angling one way. It doesn't look. I mean, it's not straight. I need to do something.
I
Like,
didn't notice that.
No, once the stabilizer is up, it's fine, and the panels are fine. But I can tell already when I doing it. I know this one leg is off completely, like maybe 30 degrees in before I put the stabilizer bars. So
That much?
yeah, that much. It's
Well,
that
one of
much.
though I have the old style legs where the top section of the leg is a straight piece of pipe.
That's
And
the same thing.
I get those. Occasionally, I will get one of those that's bent. I just go to Home Depot and buy a new chunk of pipe and cut it, drill 2 holes in it, and I'm good to go. I've replaced like 3 or 4 sections of those.
Yeah, but the thing I need to replace is the roof part where the PVC goes.
Yeah,
The 2 sides I need to replace.
the PVC.
No, the PVC is easy, but I find out that the PVC it's a different width than the one that you can buy at Home Depot.
It's schedule 20 and not schedule 40.
Yeah.
If you go to a plumbing supply place, you can find schedule 20.
Yeah, that's what I find out later on. But it's the metal parts from the trim line, the ones that where you hook up the PVC. I need to replace all those. But I might do it. Depending on how bonita goes, I might go and order them. So.
Hey guys, do you mind me asking what kind of tent you're talking about? Because I'm
Trim line.
on the brink of having to pick a tent, and I know what I may be leaning towards, but what kind of tents do y'all have?
Trim line.
Trim line.
You have
But
trim-
you want a light dome.
The light dome is easier to handle. If you don't have that much strength, the light dome, you should do it now. Carla Bank and Karina Allegro was mounting a 10 by 20 trim line, and it's impressive to see them doing it. And Carla got a little mad because I didn't want to help her, but I'm going like, no, I'm not making fun of you two. I just want to see how you girls do it by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. I want to figure out what tent will be best for me to be able to do it by myself. I don't want to have to rely on somebody to help me do it. So
I would say the light dome. The light dome, you still need the roof.
do you know anybody wanting to sell a light dome?
Well, that's where you have to go on the Artist Garage group.
Oh, the Artist Garage. Okay. So I need to do Art Girls and Artist Garage.
I watched Barbara Holloway put up a trim line all by herself.
Hey, I used to put up a craft hut by myself.
I still do.
I mean, the only real part, and the new design is a lot easier than the old design. The old design legs, you have to literally get like 6 or 7 feet of leg. You have to get the top almost all the way up in one lift.
Mm-hmm.
The new legs, you don't have to do that.
I got a tall trim line, and the only time I need help is to bring it down. It's because I don't want to. I can bring it down by myself, but it's not safe to do it that way.
Yeah.
Because so I always ask my neighbor to hold one end while I bring 10 down. And it's more about you don't want to be responsible for somebody else breaking, especially when your neighbors are glass or ceramic or something like that. So,
Yeah.
but
I
it's,
mean,
the problem with the trim line though, the 10 by itself, a 10 by 10 is going to weigh at least 200 pounds.
yeah. Okay, so the light dome is the one with the lighter materials. So
Yeah.
okay.
It is aluminum with plastic fittings.
I heard that. That sounds, like it's more manageable to put together by yourself. I heard it has less parts too. So
Don't worry about the parts, because once you get your way how to put it together, it goes really fast. I don't even have to think about it now. The only thing
Yeah,
that
but
needs is
you
the
have a
corner.
big enough vehicle that you could leave pieces of it together.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that helps too.
Yeah.
Good to
That's
know.
The problem I have, well, I struggle with getting my trim line up because I have to go up so high with it, but also because while it's on the ground, I literally built a wiring harness. I got tired of running extension cords everywhere. So I
Oh.
literally custom built a wiring harness. Saves me about 10 minutes, and I just put it on. That goes on, my lights go on, and my fan goes on. I have an overhead fan in my booth.
Good for
'Cause
you.
it's-
Yeah.
It's usually hot.
Yeah.
All that stuff goes on before I have to lift the top 7 feet in the air. So that adds considerably to the weight of the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I use the Ryobi lights now, because I didn't want to be dealing with the cords. It's easier to put it in there and just put the battery in there.
Yeah, that's nice, but I will tell you, unless you want to hang 6, 8 Ryobis from the top of your booth, you will not get the kind of air movement that I get with the one single ceiling fan.
Mm.
It moves
No, I'm
air in
not about the fan.
it moves air in the whole booth.
I'm talking about the lights. And
Oh, the lights?
Gianna,
My
has
lights,
Gianna has one of those big Ryobi fans now, and I might consider getting one of those, because it's true what you're saying. You need to put like at least 4 of the Ryobi fans to make the place cool down.
Yeah.
the
And you
lights,
need a lot of them.
my lights don't weigh much because what I do is I have a 2-foot long track that has 6 heads on either side. It's track light, and I've got it's made so that it clamps onto it snaps onto the bar.
Yeah,
then
I just got. You know what? The problem with that, I just got tired of replacing the heads. Every other month, one will go bad on me.
I've had some of these that I beat around. I mean, they've been around for years, and they're cheap. They're the cheapest heads I could buy. And
Yeah, I know.
I
I didn't have the lucky with that, because I was using the bar 30s, and those didn't. I still have them when I go indoors, but they get up. And it's one less thing to carry around. So, but each person does it differently.
The other thing I did when I built the wiring harness for my booth, all the outlets, every outlet is switched. And I mean, it has it's a normal outlet like you see on the wall with 2 plug-ins, and each one is switched separately. And so I can, from a panel in the back, I can flip lights on and off, I can flip fans on and off, I can flip various things on and off from the back panel.
Cool.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah,
then
that's cool.
everything on that panel goes through a ground fault circuit, and then that plugs into whatever extension cord I need to get to my power. So everything's on a ground fault circuit.
That's awesome.
That is cool. Hey guys, I enjoyed getting to drop into y'all's meeting. Maybe I'll get to see you again next week. But thanks, I enjoyed it. And Larry, I'll be talking to you more soon, okay?
Yeah, give me a call later about the images.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Bye, everybody. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Oscar, how many more shows do you have to do in Florida?
Technically speaking, 2, but I'm helping Steve this weekend to set up his. So 3 more. And then I get a week off, and then I go to Houston. And then I get a week or 2 weeks off, and then I go to Atlanta, and then San Antonio, maybe South Lake. Then I got a weekend off, go to Philadelphia, and then to Belleville. And then I finally I'm home for a good stretch. So maybe I can go out in a few days then. So, but life in the road, what to tell you. But last week I was ready to go home. Like I start getting the itch of going home.
Yeah.
So, it's this is week. It's going to be week 8 this weekend. And tomorrow I need to drive to Sarasota to hang a 48/72 that got delivered. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I've had enough of Florida myself.
Yeah, the weather sucked.
Yeah, no, though I like
Yeah,
that's
but-
the only I like the weather. That's the best part. Florida. It's another country.
It just
No.
about is.
No, Miami's another country. The rest of Florida is
Oh, I thought it was Flow Rider.
the same thing.
It's not
That's
that bad.
that's that rock group.
Yeah. Okay. As much as I'd like to stay, I gotta go too because I want to get to Buc-ee's before dark. Hey, can I stay at Buc-ee's?
Yeah, you should be able.
Okay, because I'm at a rest area, but it's a little early.
No, you should be able to stay in Buc-ee's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do, but I've been to Buc-ee's once and I really don't want to go back.
Really, I've never been there, but I know people that like it. So
It's a really
is
cool
it?
place, but I agree.
Restaurant?
It's a restaurant, and you can eat something good in there.
Yeah, we used
That's
to
what
go
I
to
heard.
We used to go to Cracker Barrels. We'd plan our stops on
Well, yeah.
the Cracker Barrel map.
Actually, it's funny. The Cracker Barrel, the RV part, it's kind of like upscale compared to any of the other places. It attracts a better
Right.
class of people. I just think that was funny.
Well, I was in Buc-ee's with a co-worker who was Native American, and she grabbed me and said, "Yeah, we need to go. This has got a really bad vibe."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's one between Dallas and Houston. And it's in a spot where it's really convenient to stop, no matter which way you're going. So we had stopped there. We were on a return haul from Houston back to Tulsa.
Yeah, I want to stop before Atlanta. I don't want to drive through Atlanta in the dark.
No, the problem if you get to Atlanta, there's no place to stop until you
I
get to.
know.
So,
Yeah.
if you go to, or you stop early, or drive to Cancun, that's the only way.
I know. That's why Buc-ee's is before Macon, Georgia. So
Yeah, that should be a good spot to stop.
yeah.
That's what
But-
happens when you stop early, Barry.
Hey, Oscar, Tell them how good Coconut Grove was.
I told them already.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Party, my friend.
All right. Hey, I'll see you guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Hey, be
big-
safe, and I'll see you next weekend, Barry.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Bye. Be safe.
Later. I'm planning on it.
I'm gonna blow through Chicago on Thursday, Oscar.
Oh, that's fine with me. I don't care. I'm not there.
Feed Oscar's cats.
No, they got that covered already.
I'm gonna try and get out of here at 4 a.m. on Thursday so I can get through Chicago before rush hour. I always seem to hit it at evening rush hour.
You have to be there before 3. If not, you're screwed.
I should be there around 3.
Yeah, that should be good enough. If you don't get there by 3, have mercy on your soul. Because it's getting back to what it used to be and worse. And
I'm
and
cutting
go
across the
no
south
vehicle.
side. I'm cutting across the south side, then going up the east side.
Okay. So it should be easy. You're going through 80?
I don't know. I'm going up to Michigan City. Coming in 55 and going up whatever goes to Michigan City. I know I just
Yeah,
changed highways 2 or 3 times.
if you're staying in 80 all the way, you should be able to just don't even go through Chicago. Don't even touch it.
Here's the way I consider it.
Yeah.
I don't, any metropolitan area, I don't matter if I actually hit the actual town that the metropolitan area is named after. But when I go into a metropolitan area, you know, it's Chicago. Okay. Everything, it's Chicago. It's
That's
New
not
York.
even-
It's
Oh.
LA. It's Dallas. Hell, Dallas starts where I-35 splits in North Texas.
Hey, more power to you. Well, guys, I need to go. Hopefully I see you later tonight, Kurt.
All right. I need to run too. I got to go back in, and I'm
Alrighty.
making chili to take to Paul's house. I'm staying with Paul for a couple nights, so I got to take food for him.
Be good.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I guess that's it, guys.
Okay. See you next week.
All right.